We're going to see. It looks like it's up. Nice. Okay, cool. How do I see if this is actually live on YouTube? Maybe YouTube Studio or something? Oh, nice. It is live. Yeah, cool. I just changed the thumbnail of this to something that looks a bit more like what I'm doing here, you know? Uh, how does this work? It's actually kind of weird. Okay, cool. This is good for now. All right, let's take a look at some player stats. Okay. There's a couple things that I want to do first. The first of which, I wanted to make sure that all the players who I have that are currently marked as not having a game, that is true, that they actually don't have any games. And then the other goal is to make a top 15 list. Okay, so Bob Zara is currently listed as TL Bob Zara. I'm going to simplify everyone's names, and so he will become just Bob Zara. Bob Zara, was he day 3? Yeah, he was. We'll go TC 2 points. Yeah, I guess actually this might be the first time that people are seeing. A lot of people haven't actually seen, I guess, the back end of my stat sheets. It might be the first time for a lot of people, actually. Sniamo. Kaiwang? Has Kaiwang really not... Okay, yes, that makes more sense. CTG Kaiwang and CTG Robin. Oh, no. Huh. Kaiwang really hasn't competed this set, huh? Okay. Exniamo. That also surprises me a little bit. But, yeah, it looks like he has not. From a Minhee. Ilio is also surprising. Yeah, I guess just with all of the EWC stuff going on, so many busy weekends, maybe some players just really didn't have the ability to compete this set. Ivix as well, huh? Okay, everyone else at least passes the eye test, I would say. So, how do I want to do this? I think the first thing I want to do is just make sure I have a good understanding of who is close to getting into regionals or who is already in regionals. Let me pull up. I know CLE put together a really cool post. I think with Dehua or with Dehua, going through some different simulations of where people need to place. There's a lot on the line for compete TFT with the new pro circuit. 28 out of 32 make it. Dehua ran simulations for QP, top 19 qualifier, and 179 QP on average to meet that mark. But it's Vafakaza just as a check-in. All those who are in bold, best of luck. What does that mean? Does that just mean Jack's rooting for them? Also, I wanted to. Let me actually just post real quick that I'm streaming. Meant to do that before. I should probably just do that on Discord. Okay, that is set up now. So Spencer is out because I'm assuming because he was DQ'd. Chunnington, Bopster, replay. I mean, the thing is, honestly, at this point, when all of these people are this close, it can go anyway. I'm assuming that this minimum place needed is to hit the 179 QP. But is that what the number has been in the past too? How do I find this? TFT qualifier points. So to get into Golden Spatula, green is what? Green is qualifier, or is leaderboard. Yellow. 195 was the number. And 179 QP is what we're saying is the average. I'm assuming that's because the qualifier point values changed, and that's why they're saying that then. Let's see. America's qualifier points. Never updated. Unlucky. Because qualifier points also never updated. That is so sad. Dang, that's such a bummer. Then how do we know? I guess Dahua must have calculated the average on his own. I'm assuming. Hey. What up, Philip? Oh, they did change. Oh, interesting. That's very strange. I don't know why. I'm assuming there was some math reason they had for doing that. But, kind of weird. All right, let me hide all the players who are 0. And we can look at who's actually standing out. The goal that I do want to have for today is like actually trying to put together a top 15 list. This was, these are not my picks. These are just names I was throwing in there. I do not have Black Sheep as top 5. Maybe a surprise to some. I have the sims up right here. Unless Dahua has like the actual stuff. Oh, I see. Ooh. Is there like a cool way to see this do something? What happens if I run it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm going to break it if I touch something. So, looks cool to me. Oh, who is here? It's like 1 point. Scroll down. Like all the way down? Is there more? Oh, here we go. Ooh, okay. Analysis based on 10,000 stored iterations. Overall chance to make Golden Spatula any... Oh, wait, this is... Oh, I see. This is for you. This is pretty cool. Percentage qualify through QP. And so... This is saying in 93.7% of the situations Kurum would have qualified, but this is before trial, so he's already qualified, correct? So these numbers would be changed now because certain players have a minimum number of QP, and Greya's already in, yeah, because he won, and Wasian's already in because he won. Oh, wow. So this is kind of where it starts to fall off. Wait, why does HSK have a higher percentage chance of qualifying than Vicious? Some of these look a little strange. Or were they just not in order, actually? Maybe it was mixed up. I don't know. That's pretty cool, though. It is very odd that we have TC3 missing a lot of the top players, right? So like, who is not playing? Players not playing are Soju, Prestivan, Setsuko, Spencer, Phoenix, just Soap. That's all, at least off the top of my head. Is there anyone else that I'm missing? And how many of them are in like the top 20 AVPs? Setsuko, Spencer. How was Prestivan doing up to this point in time? Okay, not great. And Soju is doing pretty well actually. Okay, well, anyway, let's focus a little bit more on TC3. The reason I wanted to look at this, even though obviously I'm not casting TC3 or anything like that, check this for a good stakes setting for this event. Stakes setting, like if I was making betting odds, is that what you mean? Yeah. Honestly, I feel like if I tried to sell my stats to a betting website, I could probably make a lot of money. I don't think anyone else has like the detailed stats right now. I don't know if anyone else is tracking it. What place people need? Oh yeah, like this thing. Yeah. I was surprised that Dobbs needed a 6th. I know we went day two. Okay, I'm getting a little derailed. DraftKings had, yeah, maybe. I was actually the first time that I ever got into competitive TFT was through what were they called? The first time I was ever technically on a TFT broadcast was with Ball Street Trading. I don't know if anyone remembers that sponsor. That was back in set 5. It was like a fantasy TFT thing that was built into the broadcast. And they'd found like a YouTube video that I made and had me like do a little explainer video on how it worked. Those guys were pretty cool. They also sponsored one of the TC events to help us give some player travel stipends. Hey, what's up, Ralphie? Thank you, man. Yeah, and you know what the best part is? I finally started my ascent after losing literally all of my LP. I don't know if anyone doesn't know, let me just show you what happened to me this patch. You see this? Look how close I was. I was on the cusp of GM. My top 4 rate has dropped 4 full percentage points this patch. I dropped from 425 to 21 LP. And we're back on the come up. So yeah, happy birthday to me. It is actually a shame. It was like I'm not particularly liking this set, but I was climbing really efficiently for most of the set. I was like 425 LP with like 61% top 4, and I'm like, oh my god, like am I hitting challenger this set? And then the patch drops and I lost like 250 LP that day, and then continued to lose 400 LP over the next couple days. Oh, what's up, Joe? I'm looking at some stats for TC3. I just want to get a little bit more familiar with what the numbers look like before I start casting or do my casting prep for regionals. Also, Lil Top had a really good run in the last one, right? Did he compete in the first cup too, though? That was just the last one. So he also, I'm assuming, needs... Oh, he only needs top 32. Am I working regionals? I'm not allowed to confirm nor deny that. Beery. There's another one that's missing somewhere. Solus. Wait, why is it only Solus XDD? Soulless. Oh, he's under CTG Soulless. I have to change all those. Soulless. Yeah, who knows? Really no way to know if I'm working regionals or not. Only time will tell. Okay, surely. Then let's change this to Soulless. How's Soulless doing? My boy, the Lion. 5.9 AVP, not bad. Could be worse. Okay, so the players that I'm just going to start highlighting the players that I personally want to keep an eye on. I mean, I think Kurum is obviously very interesting, being the overall qualifier point leader. How long has it been since Kurum made regionals? Is that 9 or something? You know, once upon a time, Kurum had, alongside Robin, been the player with the most appearances at a regional final. Because he'd only missed, I think, set 6. Right? He was at set 3, set 4, set 5. And then he stopped playing set 6. Then he made it back for set 7, set 8, set 9. He had never missed one in which he was competing the entire time. And then, yeah, set 10, he missed. Set 11, he missed. Yeah, he bombed in set 11, actually, too, which is a shame. And set 12, he missed. This is the first time since set 9 that Kurum's actually been back in this form. And I will say the way in which he's performing here, we have not seen Kurum since maybe ever. Definitely not. Yeah, Kurum has never had a set this good before. Even the times he was making regionals all the time, like, you can just kind of see it briefly. I mean, he did have 4th, but this is set 3 is kind of fake because there's one tournament. Oh, you're right. Set 9, he had the 2 cups. I forgot he won 2 cups in set 9. You're right. You're right. That was actually insane. I forgot about that. You know, isn't it kind of weird that even though Kurum won 2 cups that set, the thing was, the reason I forgot is because I think when everyone thinks of set 9, they think of Setsuko winning the 2 cups that set as well. Because it was literally Kurum and Setsuko just trading off, right? I think it was them. And so, despite the fact that Kurum had this unbelievable run, he just was not the star of the set somehow. But you're right. Good call. He did have that insane set. He did really well here too. Set 7. Isn't it odd? Actually, man, his set 7 is crazy. It's so weird. I feel like Kurum is maybe the most underrated player of all time. Because I feel like even though he's been super good for a long time, he was never put in the conversation as like the other top players of North America. You know, like, I don't know what Don't Talk If You Don't Know. Don't Talk If You Don't Know. Set 9. I don't know exactly where he was rated here. We could final rankings. Is there a way to just see what it looked like at the end? We have Setsuko, Weijin. Oh, he actually was ranked top 3. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. In my head, I feel like Kurum has never really given his flowers, but obviously he was. I don't know. No, Robin and Kurum, I wouldn't put similar tier. Similar, but no, not in the same tier in my mind. Okay, so players that I think are really interesting to keep an eye on. Oh wait, Kurum fails the eye test to a lot of people, which is funny because I feel like Robin also fails the eye test to a lot of people. So maybe they are similar. Recency bias? I don't know, Pocket. Like, I feel like even when Kurum was really good, he wasn't. I don't think he ever had the reputation of being like a killer. You know, even in the older sets, didn't it always feel like Robin and Kurum were these 2 players where the joke is like Robin is level 7-0 gold and Kurum is level 8-0 gold. They're 2 players that like didn't really play super high cap, and so I think to a lot of people it felt like they were like leaving points on the table. Neither one of them are particularly flashy either. I don't know. I think to me, the thing about Kurum is that even though he never really, he was a superstar. He was just like he's a weird superstar because he was just never consistently in the conversation despite the results that I think proved otherwise. Yeah, consistency is consistency. And I think that's kind of what Kurum was for so long, right? And that's what I was saying before. He and Robin were the two players who did not miss a regional finals in a set that they competed the entirety of. The only one Kurum missed until set 10 was set 6 because he didn't play the back half of set 6. So it's just, I think the mismatch there of like how their results so far exceeded the way people talk about them. And that's also like the reason I always hated the statement that I think it was Bryce, and I love Bryce. I have so much respect for Bryce, but like I think it was him that always talked about how Robin is like a low cap player. Like he'll never be the best. And that always bothered me because I think such an underrated part of tournament play in TFT is about how much you play like yourself the day of, right? Like how much you can show up and just not make mistakes. And in a lot of ways, I actually think that outweighs your quote unquote like peak or your ceiling or your ability to convert into first places or whatever. Cause like, yeah, Kurum and Robin were never really those players in particular, but the fact that they just didn't bomb at any tournament is such an underrated, stat. Yeah, Lil Top is nasty. That's Jersey, baby. Although he's only played 19 games, so he only entered one cup. It's important to when you're only looking at two cups worth of stats, not get beta by AVP when you're looking at different sample sizes. So real quick, I wanted to just highlight the players that I personally want to keep up with to see how they're doing. Canvely is another interesting player because he also, I feel like, is just constantly flying under the radar. I was saying, like, the OG is you just call anyone that doesn't pass the eye test low ceiling. Yeah, yeah. Oh, what's up, Replay? How's it going? Dude, this is the set. I don't know. I think Replay. Dude, the last like 4 regional finals, it feels like Replay has gotten like 9th, 10th, 11th at regionals and missed out by 1 point. I think it was set 10 he made final lobby because that was the whole Prestivan contesting him on Senna or whatever. And then I think it was literally 11, 12, 13 was like 10, 11, or 9, 10, 11 or something. Let me see. It's actually just, it's so tragic. Oh, no. He went 20th. Wait, why? Maybe it was the ones before. 12 and 11. Yeah, he went 12, 11. And maybe it was that he was really close before. I don't remember. I don't know why exactly I thought that. I hate the new Liquipedia tables, by the way. I think they're so hard to look at. Why is it only showing 6? Oh, I have to scroll down on this. Wait. Dude, like, is this not just the worst format ever? Yeah. Last set wasn't as good. It's fine. I think replay is due. I think replay is giga due for another Worlds run. Koala is interesting. This is a guy that his results domestically were never particularly good, and then he kind of came out in set 11 with the cup win. I think it was set 11, right? It was like the first cup after the merging of the regions, I think. I think you can claim the title streamer that has the most challenger to non-challenger chatters. Yeah, I mean, they come to me for advice. They're all challenger for a reason. It's because they talk to me. Oh, second cup? Oh, Philip won the first cup, didn't he? That's why Philip knows. Because Philip won the first cup. how do I ban this thing? Boom. Where's my mod? Jack, this is your job. I'm pressing the ban button and nothing's happening. Whatever. Ashen Nation gets to hang out for a bit. Oh no, thanks, Jack. Okay. Koala is kind of interesting to me. Not like a player I really want to follow, but something to keep an eye on. And it's important to me to have like a couple players from LATAM and stuff. For the same reason, I guess, Black Sheep. Obviously surprising a lot of people. I think the funny thing about Black Sheep to me is that what I would consider one of the most embarrassing conversations I've ever heard on a co-stream of all time, which was Frodo's co-stream where Milk and Soju and Prestvin to them are just talking about the pity slots of LATAM. And Black Sheep, I mean, ends up making it into Worlds, right? And he does like fine, not amazing, but not the worst out of the Americas. And now he's popping off. So you know what? Good for Black Sheep. Yeah, Vapakaza. Oh, you were on that call, Jack? That's crazy. That is crazy. I honestly, I don't blame Frodan because I understand that it's very easy for that stuff to just kind of happen. But it is kind of unacceptable that happened while it was on the official Teamfight Tactics channel. How do you and Gray have 18 games? Isn't that just one cup? Let's see. Oh, wait, let's see. You might have your stats split. Yeah, because you entered one as 4 and one as 100 Thieves. So let's fix that. So Greya probably is the same way. It's actually really... This is like the most annoying part of tracking the stats is all the players whose names change. I need to figure out some sort of system in which I can automate this, where I also put like everyone's commonly used tags just in case. But dude, it's so annoying. Okay, replay Greya. Okay, so Greya's is correct now. Oops, replay. Wait, how did you do in the other one that wasn't covered here? Oh, a little worse. That's okay. That's okay. You're still on my players to watch. I also think, I know Philip was in here. I don't know if he's still in here. Philip is another player that I think is kind of due. What does Philip need, actually, to make it to regionals? Is he on here? Oh, I can do it this way. Philip. Z10 Philip. 123. 52nd? Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. But yeah, Philip, and I want to check this. In my head, I feel like Philip has struggled at the regional finals. 16th is not bad. Wait. The 16th in Magic Mayhem. We didn't make into the Arcane. Inkboard and Fables 15th. Oh, okay. These aren't really struggling. In my head, it was worse. This is not that bad. And that was your... Oh, wait. You actually have just gone 16, 16, 15. Wait, that's not bad at all. You always throw your last games? Well, this is the tech is that I'm not going to say a word about you, Philip, because every time I talk about you is when you start to slip up. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Also, wait, was Dom in? Dom was only in one. No, Dom's in cup though. Is there a world where Dom gets in? Dom. Cool guy Dom. 55? I'm assuming that means he needs top 4, right? Okay, yeah, he needs top 4. That's okay. That would be cool. Imagine two Jersey players in regionals. Yeah. Lil Top, not only the least volatile player because he doesn't go eighth and he doesn't win, he also has never bot forward 2 games in a row. I don't know if how many of you guys, I put up like a video on Twitter linking to my Patreon that's like free to watch, but I talk about this stat that I've been toying with. The goal was is there a stat I can make that measures tilt? And so I came up with this resilience stat. And what it is that it measures when you bot 4, what is the percent chance that you will bot 4 again? And it's not a perfect stat because I think it just gets really wonky with how it interacts with top 4-8. So like, let me see if I can find this. Set 13 competitive player stats. Hold on. I remember it got really weird with Dish Soap. Yeah. When Dish Soap had this absolute monster of a set, 3.0 AVP over 49 games, his resilience stat was like not that good because he didn't bot 4 that much. And so the fact that he bot forward 2 times in a row, or maybe he did it twice, I don't know, it made his resilience stat really like middle of the pack, despite his stats being unbelievable and, you know, never to be beat, never again. But it's an interesting stat. Better to think of it relative to first placement versus second placement rather than arbitrary bot 4 top 4. Oh, when you bot 4, oh, that's interesting. When you bot 4, does your score improve or get worse? Yeah. You could do like AVP post bot 4. That actually might be it. What is your AVP after bot 4ing? I can I'll ask ChatGPT to write that for me. That's how I got this one, by the way. This thing is I don't know what it's doing. But I asked ChatGPT. I just described exactly what I wanted the stat to be and where all the cells were and what they were saying, and it wrote it for me. It's kind of cool. Coding for dummies. Who is the least resilient player in the field? I don't know why Beeries isn't working. It should be. Whatever. I'll figure it out another time. Okay, who else is worth looking at? Or worth following this? Well, not everyone is worth following. That's not what I'm saying. Oh, wait, Milk only competed in one event, or is his also incorrect? He did not compete in Cup 1? Oh, no, he just has 18 games because he got day 1 and then day 2. Okay, that's normal. Dude, this is like the most non-Robin stat line I've ever seen, actually. This is like, if you showed me this stat line and made me guess who it was, I would guess Clear. I would not guess Robin songs. That's wild. Is there anyone else like that? Actually, there's a handful of very low bot. Who is one of them? A lot of low top 4 rates that have still had quite a high average placement. I'm wondering if that is more. It's because obviously with Dehua, it's not indicative of like top 1 rate. I wonder if it's actually more of a lot of fifths or something. Like a lot of middle placement bot 4s and then a lot of top 2s. That's what it looks like to me. How many fifths do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 fifths in 30 games. It's a 5th year placement. Yeah. Yeah, you get there. You're right. That is all that matters. I mean, at the end of the day, your AVP is what's going to qualify you to the next stage. So yeah, if you go 2-2-2-5-5-5, that's great. That's a good day. And if you go 2-2-5-5-5-5-5, you're still in. I also kind of want to highlight some players who are maybe more of like an upset or like standing out that we haven't seen as like a traditional up and comer. Chunnington is someone whose name I've seen around for a while, but I couldn't tell you anything about them. Oh, they don't have a page. When did they start? The earliest is last set? No. I feel like that name sounds way more familiar. Cunnington's in your study group? Arctic RX, Chunnington, Broseph, Dranox. Oh. Wait, isn't Dranox also doing pretty well? Yeah. Well, Dranox had only one tournament, but day 2. It's not bad. Dude, I should make a list of study groups because I feel like it's been so long. When we were doing broadcasts for every cup, I felt like it was so easy to keep track of everyone's study groups because it was just like a big narrative point. And nowadays, I have absolutely no idea who's studying together. I'm assuming that the Wage and Iverson group is still kind of together. I'm assuming that the Soju study group is still together. I know you just brought up this one. There's PMD. How much did they change? I don't know. I mean, Robin for a while had that, like, the international study group is what people talked about, right? It was like, wasn't it like Robin, Tex? Who else was in that? It was a couple LATAM players and then a couple, was it Asian? Were they APAC players? I can't even remember. Arctic RX is also a name that I feel like I've seen for a while, but I cannot off the top of my head think of any particularly good results. I could pull up some of my other stat sheets actually. That might be interesting. Maybe it's worth it to see if any of these players have done particularly well in the last 2 sets, and then we can kind of go from there. Why am I... Why am I only seeing this? Did I... Oh, that's why. Oh, I was like, why is all this stuff missing? Okay. So let me just highlight a couple people that I want to look through real quick. Not really anyone else that stands out right now as like feeling like they're really on the come up. This is maybe the most established the top, 30 AVPs have felt in quite a while. All right, let's see. Let's start with Chunnington. Chunnington only played 1 cup. Didn't do great. And let's see, Arctics. 2 cups? Wait, 10 games? I'm lost. How do you have 10 games? Oh, because you get cut. You get cut after 4. Yes, that's right. I forgot about the cut after 4. Okay, so Arctics did not... Neither one of these players did particularly well last set. And Both of them did not compete in set 12. Oh, no, this is still just showing regionals. Arctics. Okay. Okay, Chunnington had a pretty respectable showing. Whoa. Holy, what is this? That is a pretty interesting stat. 52% first or eighth rate, including a 29% and a 23%. I am very curious to know, because Chunnington, if you would describe that similar, like if you would actually describe him as more of a, first or eighth player. I guess is just the most fair way to say it. Yeah, because his win rate is quite high. Eighth rate's good, but also here's the thing that's interesting to me is like I actually, in some ways, having like a low eighth place rate is not really indicative of you not being a first or eighth rate player. I think I think sometimes it just means that like the games in which sometimes you would have been going eighth, you're going first. I've been told by Bosso Skills our study group plays L9 kitchen style. Dude, I have no idea what that means. It means full open. Okay, cool. L9 kitchen? What does that mean? What does that even? Okay, but that is good to know. So your whole study group is more of an open fort group. Is that you as well, Dehua? Yeah. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to mark your entire group in blue. Oh wait, but you're already yellow. All right, you get to be yellow. The rest of your group is blue. And I'll remember this if any of you guys make regionals. Call you out as the enemy makers. It's optimal. I mean, this patch it feels quite strong for sure. It definitely does. But that's good. I mean, at the very least, I'm glad that I can kind of have 3 players to look at. Oh, you know what? I think a lot of you actually might appreciate this. Real quick. I'm not going to derail too quickly, but I think most of you probably know that I started doing this like video essay stuff on YouTube. The one that I'm working on right now. Well, I have 2 coming out. One's about Draven Day, and then the other one is going to be about TFT mechanics that you forgot existed. And let me just pull this up because I've just been like dumping things on here as they come to mind. And do you remember running away from the booms because there was no tiebreaker? There were no tiebreakers, and so the way that you would go 5th instead of 4th was by dying after other people. It's actually so crazy to me thinking about that now, that was just a core part of the game. And like, oh yeah, there's a couple here. I have like mana lock used to just be a default 1 second, and so shielding units would instead of being mana locked until the shield would break, they would just be mana locked for 1 second, and then they would start getting mana again. So there were so many insane combinations of just making your tanks go forever. This one blew my mind when I was watching, or when I was doing the set 1 video. And if you guys watch it, I talk about it there, about Yasuo, AP Yasuo being insane. That item effects and trait effects would scale off of AP when TFT first launched. So the ticks from Morello would scale off AP. Ionic Spark would scale off AP. The Exile Shield would scale off AP as well. Some dragon item combos were unbeatable PvE encounters. Yeah, I put that on here somewhere. Fighting against 3-item dragon. I have like a couple videos of people just like losing the dragon. I was trying to find a really good one where someone plays like a really strong board. Oh, this is the wrong clip. Whoops. Like this board. Yeah. Like Soju's board is not bad at all. He has a Victor. He's got Oriana too. And he's just straight up going to lose to Bloodthirster, Hand of Justice, Dragon, and die. Oh no, I don't think he dies. I don't think you would take, because the player damage was different then. Oh, he does die. He takes 7. Okay, dude, so funny, so crazy. All the on-hit effect stuff was really crazy. Also, remember how you could just lose to stage 1 PvE? And it was always Ziggs. It was always the iterations of Ziggs as a 1 cost where he would throw a bomb that could grief you. Good stuff. He didn't do anything wrong. He just didn't put Ziggs on the field, and then it randomed to the hex in which he has a chance of losing. And quick swapping. That was really cool. You guys remember that? You could map, deploy, or like send units to bench to 2 different buttons and then swap from right to left really quick. I've like been taking a trip down memory lane. It's been making me feel so very nostalgic. I think it's in part because my 30th birthday was coming up. And so I've been feeling super nostalgic. I made the set 1 video and I showed like the home video and stuff talking about like growing up and playing games. And I'm like, oh man, TFT used to be so different, man. Also, remember how Glove would give you dodge chance? And so Shroud was actually just like a tank item. It was basically gargoyles. Asa made that video about it in set 6. I remember that. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to look at this stuff for a little bit, and then I kind of wanted to spend a little bit more time trying to come up with more things here. Trap Claw. Trap Claw. Has that item combination been the most changed since the dawn of TFT? I feel like it has to, right? Belt Glove. What did it start off as? When Glove released? Was it like was that Titanic Hydra? No, I think Titanic was Titans. I can't remember. We're getting old. All right, I also would like to very quickly look at the Brazilian players and see where they are falling. Bo Belt. Wait, Bo Belt was Titanic, you're saying? Hey, I don't remember. I have, maybe it was, I don't think it started as Trap Claw though. That's the thing. Okay, so the Brazilian players, Copico or Vavakaza is doing really well. Toji is doing well. I think for 2 sets in a row, right? Didn't Toji do well? Was it set 12? Oh yeah, set 12 was when Toji made Final Day. Oh, that was, yeah, set 12 was when it was Weijin or Toji, and one of them wasn't making it to Worlds. That was so sad. Cash and Taliant, yes, I think I have them on here. And Taliant's not playing in TC3, which is why he's not listed as making it to regionals. Bow Cloak was Curse Blade, yeah. Runan's building out a Spat, yeah, dude. That was wild. It was Spat Cloak to make Runan's. I just love that, like, it's just that one. Everything else is an emblem. Except for Runan's. But didn't it work differently? Didn't it like summon something? Runan's TFT set 1. Summon a spirit who mirrors your attack. So I think that was the idea with it being a spatula item. Because it was like not just your character sending out an extra bolt. It was that you're summoning something, which still doesn't really make sense, I guess, because nothing else is summoning stuff. It just changes your unit. I don't know. Also, remember how the crests and stuff used to be items? Like, you would get Blade Master, but it would be called Blade of the Ruin King. Mort called me old. That's funny. Yeah, Mort and I, we get to bond over, you know, being middle-aged. But yeah, so I actually think Toji's pretty interesting to watch because he's another player that I think is thought of a bit more as like a content creator and not as a really strong competitor. But you know, doing really super well in set 12, and then this means day two, I'm assuming. Let's see what does he need? Oh, he doesn't even have to make day 3. He just needs I mean, at 34th is really good, but he's on the cusp of making it back. So yeah, I think Toji's worth watching. VCLF. When was the last time VCLF made regionals? Because I remember he made regionals after the merge, and he had a really bad regular season, but he made it through like the Brazilian sub regionals. I think that was set 11. Because then I had him rated super low in like my gangly power rankings for Frodan, and I remember that like caused a bit of a ruckus, and then he went like 32nd or something. I originally had him in F tier, and then Frodan messaged me and was like, "You cannot put VCLF in F tier. Like, that's just not fair." And then he went 30 seconds after I changed him to D. I should have had a backbone. That's on me. Is Ego not in Cup? I don't think so. If he's not in this list, because I had copy and pasted. Let's see. Or not copy and pasted. I'm importing the player doc. That is interesting. I don't know why he wouldn't be. Yeah, no, he's not playing. You would know better than me. Oh, wait, did he not? I wonder if he didn't make it. Because if Ego doesn't make regionals, that would actually be tragic. Oh no, really? He was playing? Did he not play in Cup 1? Maybe he didn't make it out of trials. Okay, so Cup 1, he made it to final lobby. And then he went, he was out super early there. I mean, I imagine that means he's just not making it. That's very sad. Hey, Ramblin'. Thanks for stopping by. It would be cool to see VCLF back. I mean, VCLF obviously is like such an old school legend. And I cannot remember the last time I thought of VCLF as like a top player, at least like internationally. But a top 16 was nice. Yeah, you can even just see here, since the merging of the regions, top 32, and then day 2, and then day 1. And then, yeah, and then he went dead last to regionals. Magic and Mayhem. I'm assuming this means he didn't even make it out of trials for Cup 2 and 3. Into the Arcane. He did top 16 once. But yeah, I mean, this is the best he's looked in a while. 39, 32nd. Those are 2 very strong placements. VCLF maybe returning to his former glory. I mean, you can even just see, obviously, this is like when he's playing against Brazil, you know, and then you can see how it changes once the merging of the regions happens. But I think it would be very dishonest to look at his old results and just say like, oh, well, he's playing in Brazil. What do you think was going to happen? Because even if the field is weaker, I do think there's still a lot to be said about being able to make it to Worlds twice. And it's not like he would go to Worlds and just bomb out. Although this one, I think, was when it was only 32 players, right? So he did pour in one, but he went 12th in Gizmos and Gadgets. And I do think that VCLF deserves a lot of respect. Even though I didn't rate him very highly the last time he did make it to the regional finals, I think that there's value in being any sort of like a veteran in this scene. And I think even more than that, it just feels really good. I think it just feels good when a veteran's able to perform. So what's he looking for? 55th? Okay. I mean, that to me makes it sound like he's very much worth watching. Bopzera as well. When I think of Bopzera, it's like merging of the regions happens, and everyone is assuming that Brazil and Latin America will not be able to keep up. And then Bopzera comes out of the woodwork and just dominates the regular season of set 11, and then I think very similarly in 12, right? And it wasn't, yeah, same with 12, and it wasn't until the regional finals that he unfortunately just was not able to perform in either one. 28th and 26th, yeah. And so even though he's had really strong results, he hasn't had strong results at a major event. 2 poor results at regional finals, and then a not great performance at Worlds. And so I think it would be really cool to have Bopzera. The other thing too is like Bopzera did so well in the regular season, and then because Ego was the one showing up at the regional finals and rivaling Bopzera's performances. Oh, hey, thank you. Thanks, Jeff. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. Because Ego was the one that was rivaling Bopzera's regular season results and then also showing up, I think Ego very quickly just like rose to prominence and then was like, okay, well, we have, you know, this large set of players in North America who are tier 1, and just outside that, kind of pushing their way in, is Ego. And no one really had that conversation about Bopzera because he just hasn't had the performances at a major event. Oh, is that what happened, Dobbs? That's so sad. Oh man. You know, I will say though, him giving up the spot at trials does at least make me feel like it almost like preserves a little bit of reputation. Because it would be really sad if Ego just tried to make it into regionals and just failed, especially because he definitely could have. And with him just like with it not working out timing wise, at least it means like, you know, he kind of has an out. So he actually would have needed a top 4 though, huh? Is that right? Or are these supposed to be combined and they're not? Is he actually at 104? I feel like it's probably that. I see. Yeah, I think EWC has really thrown off the like timing for a lot of people. Yeah, I'm assuming he was 104. Yeah, I feel like of the Brazilian players, I like want to keep an eye on these. These are the ones I think are kind of the big stories. And then also Dobbs is my boy. So of course I'll keep tabs on Dobbs. It's been a bit, Dobbs, since we've seen you back at regionals. You're due. Wait, because you won. What was the last thing you like had a really strong showing at? I remember you won a road to pro in set 11 or 12 or something. It was set 11. Set 11, yeah. But it's been a bit. It's been a little bit. Yone carried you. I don't even remember set 11. I hated that set, man. Set 11 has got to be one of my least favorite of all time. The first road to pro. Oh, your road to pros were quite good. I'm assuming you just missed. You didn't do well the second one, or did you not play in it? How do you qualify for road to pro? It just doesn't show you. Does that just mean you place outside the top 50? Oh, I see. Yeah, day 2. Okay. Okay, so these are the Brazilian players I kind of want to keep an eye on. How is Latin America North doing? Wow, there's only 6 reps from LAN. Yeah, and kind of the usual suspects too. don't think I'm familiar with these three, but Mercenary, Cerdo, and Super Pino are the players that we've seen kind of representing the region for quite a bit. Oh, though there may be more. Yeah, they're okay. There are these two as well who just haven't played yet. And then Latin America South, I know Tech Summers is doing well. I think Tech Summers is also a big story. Deleted is a player who I feel like has been around, but has never really been like an interesting name to a lot of like non-Latin American players. But Tech Summers, man, it was what? It was 3 worlds back to back to back, if I remember correctly. Was that like 7, 6, 7, 8 or something? It's been a long time, but after that, the conversation immediately just went back to Michael versus Altanawe once the merging of the regions happened, and Tech's failed to make it to regionals since then, if I remember correctly. I can't remember the last time. I don't think we've seen him at a regional finals since the merge. Oh, wow. He did quite bad at set 10 regionals as well. Oh, no, he was there. He was there for set 11. Was this the one, though, where Michael and Altanawe were competing? And it was like whichever one of them outplaced the other made it to Worlds. Yeah, and then Michael got it. And then 12, not great results. 13, not great either. I'm assuming that means we got out in trials. But yeah, so far so good for Tex. It would. I think Tex is such a fun personality that it's like it's really good for their region to have someone like him on top. Not, and I don't say that as like an attack on anyone else. Of course, like being a personality does not mean you deserve to have a spot in, you know, the highest level of competitive play. But I do think it makes it way more fun to watch as a viewer when someone like Tech Summers is doing well. There's a lot of players like that where like it's the same reason that people love my God, I'm blank. Oh, Sobio. It's the same reason that people love watching Sobio. When the players who are fun to watch are doing well, it makes the viewership product just infinitely better. It also just makes like the world's product super fun when we're casting and we get to kind of hype up these players as like, oh, watch this guy when he high rolls because you'll get something good out of him. Yeah, and Tex to me is one of those players. Oh, Metzau is here. He's just put a space. I don't think Bio's playing in this cup. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see Bio. Maybe Bio went out in oh, Bio struggled actually, huh? Maybe Bio lost in trials. I don't know. I need a hot gangly take. Who do you think the 4 influencer spots in the tier 1 circuit should be? Like, what makes someone be qualified for it? Ooh, this is a very interesting take. Well, I think there are some people that might tell you that at least these 3 players should be in there because they lost their spot at the regional finals for breaking TOS. And if Setsuko goes bot 4 at regionals, I think people would say that. All right, so to me, I think that without a doubt, if any of these 4 players go bot 4 at regionals, they should be getting a spot. I think there is no world in which these players yeah, the people that get banned should get the spot. That's what I'm looking for. You only get the spot if you get banned. Hey, Slappy. I think that any of these 4 players that make it, or if any of these players don't make it, they should get the spot. I also think that this is maybe a hot take. I think Ego should be offered the spot if he does not, because he's not playing in regionals. I think I think Ego is a very important character long term for the TFT scene, because I think he's like the antithesis of a lot of the toxicity that has come around the merging of the regions, where there's a lot of players who a lot of those players who talk about like the pity slots of other regions and how they hate playing against these players who don't deserve to be here. To me, I feel like Ego is an example of like being a light in that region, showing that just because someone's from a bad region doesn't mean that they're going to be a bad player. And I know that like these players who are saying that also think that Ego is an amazing player. But to me, I think that it's important to have representation from each of these regions, because it's an international game and we want to be reaching players from everywhere. Like, that's the beauty of TFT. When you think of a game like League of Legends, it is so hard for a team from North America to ever win the world championship because our region is weaker. And so getting a team of five players who are all able to compete at the absolute highest level is very difficult, if not just like impossible. But in TFT, it only takes one person, and we have the resources to kind of learn from anybody, you know. And one person can come from a region that is not known to be good and still put their region on the map, and to me, it's really important. And so, even though Ego is not at regionals, I would hope that Ego is given a slot. I think it does get harder with Latin America because they've struggled to produce someone who has been able to do something like what Ego has done. But my fear, to be honest, is that losing the Latin American support would be extremely detrimental to like the overall viewership product of TFT. I think that Latin America has produced maybe not the strongest players, but some of the absolute best like fans of the game. They are an incredibly active like content creation world. They also, to be honest, there are a lot of people who live in Latin America that work for players of other regions, like as editors and doing media stuff. I work with like a couple different TFT players who live in Argentina. And to me, it's like, it would feel really weird for Latin America to be such a central hub for like the underbelly of TFT, but to not have any players represented in the Pro Tour. I don't exactly know who would be given the slot. You know, Michael has really struggled in the last couple sets ever since set 11. Altanawe's struggled. Tex Summers was struggling, and kind of only just this set now where he's really coming back. And outside of that, they haven't really had any strong pillars that have consistently been able to compete. But I do think that if I had to give it to someone, it would be Tex or Michael. I'd say they're picking one from BR, one from LATAM, and two from NA. Yeah, perhaps. There is an argument too, like, do you ever just go for highest viewership, right? Like, do you invite Soju? Maybe. I could see that. If you have players who are, again, like if you're just trying to do viewership, do you ever invite like Box? I don't know. I would say probably not. But I imagine that they will be inviting Soju. Although I like, maybe him getting banned loses him the spot. Like I don't know if Soju getting banned. It actually I don't want to like, I don't want to add to the noise of like all the stuff about the players getting banned, because from at the end of the day, I think Soju, Prestavant, those are the two that I saw that at least like recognized, hey, us getting banned for a cup is fine. Like, this is deserved. Their problem with it is like, there's another problem that isn't being dealt with, and that bothers us. But I think they recognize like they messed up and they're getting punished, and that's fair. But I think it would feel a little bit like a slap in the face for Soju to just get banned and then immediately lose his spot and then get invited back into the pro circuit. But also, like, it is Soju, you know, and like TFT without Soju it wouldn't be the same. I don't know. Wouldn't Boxbox go dead last? I mean, Boxbox has made top 32 at a cup before. A lot of people don't think Soju did anything wrong. I mean, I'm down to, I want to be careful saying, because I really don't want to like make this where I'm harping on any of the players who did something wrong. But I think it is impossible to say that someone didn't do something wrong when they very clearly and willfully broke TOS. And I understand that people are saying it's a systems issue of the way the snapshots work. What am I supposed to do? And other people are saying, well, everybody does it, so it's not a big deal. And the two things I do say, I would say about that is, one, someone else getting away with something, with doing something wrong has absolutely no impact on whether something is right or wrong. And I think that's like something most people would agree with. And the other part of it is it's a systems issue. And I recognize that's a problem, but it does not matter. Like, it actually just doesn't matter. You know, Pro Circuit is coming up. This is the most pivotal point in time in TFT I think we've ever had, with this regional finals leading up into the Pro Circuit qualification. And like, everything is changing after this. You don't have to do this anymore because the whole system is changing. So like, why do you have to, why not just wait one more cup? I don't know. It's just, yeah, the rules are the rules. It's just what it is. Like, you guys don't have to play TFT. No one's forcing anyone to compete. No one's forcing anyone to play or whatever. And if you do want to play, you have to follow the rules. I don't know. All that to say, I would let Soju in. I think I would let Soju in. I think like these four are always getting in if any of them misses. Like I said, I want Ego to be one of those spots. And so I would imagine most likely these four players get in regardless. I think Ego will get a spot. I hope one of these players gets a spot. I think Soju will get a spot. Malala has a crazy good chance to make it. Wait, are they saying that based off of something? Wait, or how does he even, or you mean like making it to regionals? Oh yeah, he's probably not making it to regionals. Good relationship with Riot. Yeah, okay. I mean, he's also just like a good guy. I think Riot likes that a lot, you know? He's definitely a more positive pillar than some of the other players, I think, that are kind of at the top of TFT. His run is iconic, yeah. I mean, it's the greatest run in TFT history, no doubt. Every content piece is just Malala, yeah. This they've been doing a lot. I actually just did one with him. I just did one with him that released on YouTube, I think just yesterday. You guys should go watch that. Actually, you guys should absolutely go watch that video and then like comment saying like, oh, what a great content piece, because then I can tell Riot that people like it. Hold on. TFT championship runs. Boom. You guys should go watch this video. I'm going to link it. Hold on. Yeah. Go click on that and give it a thumbs up and comment, because this thing needs some views. It needs a little bit of love. Let me think. Who else? Is there anyone else I would immediately give it to? Also, I'm not actually saying that Boxbox is in contention. It's more, it's like a thought experiment of how much does it matter to make this product about viewership. The more I think about it, though, I think they don't really care, because they don't care about viewership on Pro Circuit anyway, because there's no broadcast for it as far as I know. At least they haven't announced one. So I'm assuming that they probably don't care if it's like a super high viewership. Also, I saw some people saying Lucas instead of Ego, and that makes sense Personally, I would rather see Ego than Lucas. I think Lucas is very good. Also, like, an interesting player, even though his like personality is a little bit more reserved, a little more quiet. I think he's very fun to watch because he just plays the game very differently. If they didn't care, why would they have the slots? I think, honestly, my take on the slots is more for these guys, right? That was my thought, is like, imagine having this tour and then Disop or Weijin or Setsuko don't get in. Because I feel like if it was Toji, I mean, he's done very well the last couple sets. Wouldn't it feel really weird though if the slot went to Toji instead of Ego? To me, it would feel very strange if we had. To me, it would feel very strange if we had a regional final or a pro circuit that had Toji over Ego. Not, and I say that not to take away anything from Toji, because his set, this set has been amazing. Set 12 is fantastic as well. Barely missed out on World Championship. So I'm absolutely not saying anything as a deterrent to his play, but more just the Ego is the only player from Brazil that is really threatened to break into the big four of North America. Toji's qualifying? Okay. Oh my gosh, yeah. If you make regionals and bot 4, I cannot even imagine the heartbreak that these players will be feeling. How does Dobbs get in? Dobbs is top 4ing this weekend, and then he's winning regionals. And then he's going to hop on the broadcast for the winner interview and then go hog wild on him, you know? Is there anyone else that is worth highlighting? Why is Pocky... Wait, is Pocky's right? Did Pocky not play? No. He's also one of those. Okay. Let's fix Pocky. Pocky Gum. One of these days, I need to get together with other people who are super into stats and such, and figure out a way to use these stats in a cooler way than just me having a sheet. I'm giving you a gift in case that actually happens. Okay. Oh yeah, I think this is... It's probably the hardest set of all time. Between it qualifying for Pro Circuit and EWC, I think people have spent the most amount of time actually preparing for TFT, like, you know, more so than ever before. Okay, so Pocky's actually a little better than where I had him. In which case, he's now in a tier where I'm comfortable. Boom. I mean, I think Pocky's also always interesting to watch. Also, I think this stat line is such a Pocky stat line. He is, apart from these 3 players, apart from the Hua Study Group and VCLF, like the lowest top 4 rate compared to his win rate. Actually, I wonder, is there some stat you can measure that's like comparing top 4 rate to top 1 rate? I don't even know exactly what that would be. But this is like the way I always talk about this with Pocky. Pocky is so good at converting high roll into first place finishes. And this is like in set 7, which was not the first time, but it was before he made Worlds again, or before he made Worlds in set 11. Set 7 was the last time that we had really seen Pocky like absolutely pop off. And in that set, his stats looked very similar to this. Let me see if I can pull that up. At least in my memory, they do. Set 7 competitive player stats. Wow, look at this. This is before I color coded it. And this is including trials, I think, too, though. Okay, so his top 4 rate was actually kind of high, 60%, but you can see 22% top 1 rate, 10% 8th rate. It looks awful familiar to me. Yeah, I'm talking about the visualization side, Slappy, or even a number to represent it. Yeah, Pocky. I mean, Pocky is, in my opinion, like just if we're talking like ceilings of players, or at least like, I don't know if I want to say ceilings. Players who, when they are playing at their best, how good are they? I think Pocky is as good as these 4 players. Okay, yeah, Slappy, I'd be down. Hawkins says ratio of 1 to 2 plus 3 plus 4. I don't exactly know what that means. I did a fair bit of it for work and be down to help with some prep. Oh, sweet. Yeah, dude, why don't you, if you want to DM me or something, I don't have anything like right off the bat of like, oh, I would really like this, but maybe we could find a time to hop into a call next week real quick and just like talk. Yeah, because I don't exactly know what I would want. Number of first places to sum of second, third, fourth places. Oh. When they top 4, because yeah, it would basically tell you when we top 4, how often do we convert it into a first? Yeah, I love that. That's cool. Okay, I really like that. I'm gonna make a note of that, and I'll put that over here. What do we want to call that? High roll conversion rate. Call it HRC. Okay, yeah. If we have a cool way to represent that, I would be so down. Obviously, I cannot say if I'm on the regionals broadcast or any other broadcast for this set, but if I was, it would be really cool for me to show up and say, hey, we have these graphs that we made to represent different players in the regionals field. We'd love to show them on broadcast. Just doing it for the love of the game. Yeah, you know me. What else am I going to do with my time, right? What do you think? I have a family or something? Is there no LAN player worth highlighting? Okay, so in TC3, I will say the players who are from Latin American North, who have played in other cups this set, they are, I'm going to use the term known quantities. They are players who have seen in the past, who are good in their region, but they've really struggled to perform outside of their region. It's the smallest region represented in competitive TFT, and historically, they just haven't had a star, at least not since Relic. Relic was the player from Latin American North that people were highlighting for a very long time. But he struggled since the merging of the regions. He did really well in set 10, right? I think that's when it was, when he made it to Worlds. We just haven't really had someone like that in a while. What I would like to see, though, is are there players not in this cup? Yeah. You can see, like, just on the whole, Latin American North has really struggled. He's really struggling in EU, I think. Wait, is Relic in EU right now? I'm a little confused by that. Haunch. Yeah, isn't it, this person's NA, right? Oh, he moved to Portugal. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, this person's NA, correct? I don't know why I have them. Yeah, that's weird. Oh, it's just not using VLOOKUP for it. That's why. Same with this one. Hey, NCT. How you doing? Okay. Last thing I want to do now. Let's make a top 15 list. And we can do it collectively. It actually is really funny making a top 15 list when so many players are just missing. I'll move this off to the side because this is confusing. Because like normally you know, however you'd want to put your big 4 in there, we all of a sudden just don't have you. Oops. I'm going to put replay off to the side because I don't know if I'm going to default replay top 2. Yeah, I think Wei Jin is absolutely number 1. Hey, thank you, Peter. Thank you very much. Can I just list the banned players on the side? Yeah. Here we'll say jailed. It's going to be Setsuko, Soju, Prestivan. I'm assuming Phoenix also got it. Yeah, Convid. So I'm assuming Phoenix also got banned for a cup. I didn't see that ruling anywhere, but I'm assuming because we knew he was sharing with Soju. Thanks, Ramblin. Okay. I am just going to spitball some names, get it on paper first. This is kind of how I like to start it. It's like, let's just make a shape of the rankings, and then we can figure out what we're missing. So just like off the top of my head, where would I want to go with this? I know I want replay. You know what? For right now, I'm going to put replay too. I know that's going to be contentious. I'll put Kurum, although I don't know what Kurum's current form is. Let's just get some stuff on there. Dude, I do want to believe in Black Sheep and Vapakaza, but I think for right now, I'm just going to put these 3 kind of in this range. We'll adjust this. I also think Milk, I'm overrating him a lot right now. Milk will most likely end up much lower. Not much lower, but lower. Lil Top, am I putting Lil Top in top 15? He's only played in the 1 cup, right? I don't know if I Lil Top's my boy. I don't know if I can do it though. I think Cam is going to be somewhere maybe outskirtsy. I think actually let me just gut check. Are they in or considered? So in, considered, in, considered. Walla, Spelto, I'd say considered. Arctics, no. Toronto, Tokyo, in. Lucina, no. JRC, no. JD, considered. Does Lil Top have 2 cups? Isn't he just makes final lobby, so it's 19 games? Did he play in the other? I don't have him in the other one. Yeah, no, he only played 1 cup. He got trialed, okay. Does that mean JD also got trials? Is Chunnington making into my top 15? I wish I knew anything about it. He did have the 1 respectable set though. It was set 12, right? Chunnington. It's not bad. Not bad. Could be something. I'm gonna put Chunnington down here, just per chance. Toji is also considered. BCLF Phillip. Bopzera. Man, there's a lot of players. Yeah, get your card packs, everyone. Enjoy. Marcel, Goobums, Robin, Tex, Bopster. Don't think there's anyone else I really want to put on there. Even dank memes, like I always feel weird when it's like, I mean, the stats are such small sample sizes too. It's kind of tricky. Okay, I'm good with all this for now. So these are the players we got to figure out who's making it in, who's not. Okay. Where do we want to go here? Wait, let me check. Let's see. Robin songs. Hold on. Let me check autochess. Yeah, let's just peek to kind of see some current forum stuff too. Oh, Dank Memes is still up there. Where's Robin right now? 1300. Okay. Let me kind of order this list how I would if I just off of like perception slash how I believe they've done in previous sets, and then we can kind of look at current form. Let's start like here. Something like this is starting to. I think I need to make room for these three though. E maybe here, Cam here. Make room for Dank Memes at the top here for sure. If we're just going off of that. How have Goobum's last couple sets been? I feel like not great, but I don't know for certain. Did Goobum's not play last set, or is this... Did he really not play last set? Set before that was pretty weak. 11 competitive player sets. Wait, is oh, T-Lied is no, T-Lied is not in, right? He played one cup and then yeah, okay. Oh, he is now with the bands. +1 drop. Wow, crazy. Okay. Wait, so is he on here? Why do I not have him in this list then? Means he's not on the score sheet. Apparently Bosso skills is very, very good. Okay. I'm going to say something, and I want to be extremely clear. Back in set 7, someone asked me after I made the prediction of Amdi doing well at mid set and then he won, someone asked me to make another prediction on who is the next player on the come up in set 7, and I said Bosso skills. And I feel like ever since then, every time people start to hype up Bosso skills, he doesn't do that well. I think he's very good. I think he's amazing. But I don't really trust other people telling me that Bosso skills is really good. I think he's incredible. I really do. And I believe it. He probably is incredible. But every time people say he's incredible, something goes awry. Oh, in scrims. Okay. So I am not saying you're wrong. I'm not going to, and I would put him on this list, to be clear. I would even go so far as to put him above these guys. Yeah, that makes sense. TR scrims. But I just don't know if I'm ready to take the leap of faith with Bosso right now. I will, and man, this is going to sound so much worse than I mean it, because again, like I think Bosso's really good, and I believe that Bosso could be a top tier player. Oh, man, all right. And if Nico is watching this, I want you to know I think you're incredible. I think you're so good at the game, and I think you could be one of the best. But I also think that Bosso skills might be, I don't want to use the word overrated. He might have the most respect from top players compared to his tournament results. Yeah, I think that's what it is. He has more respect from top players. Wait, how do I say this? There's no one else with as much respect as Bosso skills without having tournament results to back it up. Yeah, actually, never mind. New Bowel is that, and after New Bowel is Bosso skills. I don't know if he's overrated or if it's that he like doesn't perform in tournament. If it's like a performance anxiety thing. Yeah, I think he's a fraud. No, I don't think he's a fraud. I really do think that Bosso's incredible. I've just noticed that people really respect him, even though he doesn't really have the results. I think he's also just very good at talking about the game. And I think top players really respect anyone who can talk about the game in a way that makes sense to them. Do we put Broseph over Toronto Tokyo? My problem with Broseph is I really like ranking players based off of like historical performance as well. Because it is one thing to have a couple good cups. It's another thing to show that you are able to perform under pressure. I think it's just two completely different skill sets. Like I believe that Broseph could be this good. My concern is he going to play this good? That's the difference between someone like Broseph and someone like Robin, where it's like, yeah, Robin's stats are not great, but I also believe that Robin will be averaging back to the mean very soon. And with Broseph, I'm concerned, is this like a flash in the pan? Although Toronto Tokyo, to be honest, outside of qualifying to Worlds in set 9, what are his results like? It's like just set 9, right? You know what? I'm down. Move Toronto Tokyo. I'm down to do like this even. You think he got over his nerves? Okay. I hope so. I think Broseph is awesome. I love listening to him talk about the game. I really love his attitude. Yeah, I know you're biased. It's okay. I am down like for somewhere. Actually, I think I'm down for this. I think this to me. Oops. This looks a little bit better, like eye test wise to me. I feel very weird about like this 10 through whatever. He clears Dank. Okay. You think Chunnington clears Dank memes? All right. I am not opposed by any stretch to putting Chunnington in this 15th slot. In the past, when we did Don't Talk If You Don't Know, I kind of always reserved my 14, 15 spots, not as like who I actually think is the best, the 15th or 14th best player, but more as like who is a player that is performing in the stats that is not being given the attention that they deserve. And if that is the framework we're using, I would say that Chunnington slots in perfectly into that. He's a player who's performing extremely well this set and has respectable results in the past. I would be willing to do that, even though his stats aren't like unbelievable. They're he's got very honest stats, So I'd be down. I'm down to give Chunnington the 15th slot, a little nod. I also don't know exactly how confident I feel about Kopiko or Vapakaza. Let's see. Yeah. I remember I think they did well at Vapakaza. Number 19th, okay. I'm also down to move Vapakaza down. Hard for me to not say Kopiko isn't... Hard for me to not say Kopiko isn't the best Brazilian player. Hold on, I'm confused. Hard for me to say that he is the best Brazilian player. Okay, thank you. My mind could not handle that at all. I think he is the best performing this set. I don't know if he's the best Brazilian player, but I think his stats are the best from Brazil. I think it's just hard because I really do, and this I think was what made my ballots always a little weird with Don't Talk If You Don't Know, is like I really do value players who have tournament history and have been able to perform over an extended amount of time. But I totally get what you're saying. Like, it would make sense to do something like this. Or maybe do this. But where is Bopzera compared to Robin? 4.2 and Bopzera is 4.17. If Robin... Oh, I don't know how Robin's doing in scrims. Or if he's playing scrims. I was watching him stream the other day, and it did feel like his games were going a little wonky. Like, I always want to believe in Robin. I don't know that I'm, like, willing to put him top 10 right now, though. Where's Philip at the moment? 52. Is Philip's been struggling this patch, huh? AGS is on this patch, correct? Yeah. Again, not that I would know. Not that I would know. I want to put Philip in. I want to put Toji in. How's JD doing? I wish Philip were here. He was here before. If he comes back, I'm down to hear from Philip. All right, who are the players that I'm very seriously considering putting on this list? I can't put Balso in. I'm not putting Goobums in. And truthfully, I think it doesn't really have room for VCLF and the other two. And I would rather put Bopzera over VCLF. So VCLF doesn't have room. Bopster doesn't have room. So it's basically like this. Kind of my lower list. I want to put Chunnington in there more as a nod. Like, I would probably truthfully put Chunnington maybe like 18, 19, but I'm going to put Chunnington 15 as a nod saying I believe in you and your stats are impressive and this could be your breakout set. Actually, no, forget it. Changing it because who cares about halfway takes? I think Chunnington's winning TC3 and making it into the America's Golden Spatula. Flip it and ship it. Okay. Let's ready? Poll. How do I make a poll? Who is rank 14? Philip, JD, Black, sheep. 1 minute. Boom. Oh, he doesn't need to win? Where is Chunnington? I think we looked at him before. I can check your thing. Chunnington. Oh, he's way up there. He needs 116. Okay. That's all right. All right, this is your chance, everyone. Get in here. We've got 3 for JD. Dang, is Philip not making it onto this list? And Black Sheep not making it onto this list, despite having a 3.6 AVP over 30 games? Because that feels pretty messed up. All of a sudden, I feel like I need to make room for Black Sheep. He's not even getting any votes. This guy's stats are insane. Guys, I think we might be trolling. Also, I have to leave in like 5 minutes. So we got to figure this out. The people have voted JD. So if we're not removing Chunnington because we're giving him a nod, JD wins 14th place. Doesn't that mean I have to remove 13th place in order to put Black Sheep in? I think we have to put Black Sheep in here. Like, get rid of Milk. Also, I'm down to move Vapakaza. No. I'm down to move Bopzera. Okay, but like, I think I would actually rather Black Sheep over Bopzera, and I think I would rather... Jeez. Toji versus Bopzera. It's hard because of how dominant Bopzera was for those 2 sets. And the fact that Toji is a streamer, like a content creator. It always like feels a little bit weird. But he's also just a monster. I need some Brazilian insight. Where's Dobbs? But like, doesn't it also feel weird to have doesn't it feel weird to have Robin? No, I mean, I think that seems pretty reasonable. Man, it's really hard. I'm really making room for Chunnington right now. Chunnington better be very thankful. Because we're making this way harder than it needs to be. And then we're 3 Brazil, 12, 13, 14 into Chunnington. Meanwhile, JD and Philip don't get a slot. This does not look right to me. Yeah, Chunnington better not let us down. You know what? I'm down to take Bopzera off and put... Dude, JD or Philip over Bob... I would personally take JD or Philip over Bopzera most days. I don't know if I would really put Philip top 15 right now, though. Hey, oh, wow, Blind. Hey, there's a name. Hey, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Yes, I would love that. I would really love that. I'm telling you, Milk is going dead last. No, what if Milk goes, like, on the revenge arc, you know? All right. Hold on. One more poll. 14th place. We're going to try it again. Is it JD, Bopzera, or Philip? 1 minute on the clock, and after this, we're locking it in, and then I got to go pick up someone from the airport. You either put Milk off the list or 2. Yeah, that is the classic. That's the traditional Milk ranking. Oh, wow. The people really like Bopzera, huh? 6th place player at the Columbus Convergence is the obvious choice. Did Bopzera go 6th place at the Columbus Convergence? Because that's what it's looking like. Philip made top 8 at a TC. I forget which one. 3, maybe? Okay, it's Bobzera. It is done. Need a TC I can go to again? Yeah, we'll figure it out. I think next set I gotta figure out when EWC is happening so we can schedule around that. All right, so here's our list. Maybe I'll tweet this out later. We'll see. Yeah, no UWC next set, but I don't think we're doing another LAN next set. Probably not till next year's, most likely. Okay, well, here's our top 15 for the Tacticians Cup number 3. I think it's a pretty solid list. We got some weird stuff in there. We got some good stuff in there. Some pretty standard things. Overall, pretty balanced. And it also gives a couple like call outs of players that we're looking to see make some upsets. So yeah, let's go, Chunnington. You got this. I think that's going to do it. So I'm going to end stream. Who's streaming right now? How do I, is there an easy, oh, I just clicked on someone's stream. Hold on. Is anybody streaming right now? Does anyone want to turn on stream? Yeah, I got to go pick someone up from the airport, but this has been really good prep. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Seriously, this was like a ton of fun, and I would love to do more stuff like this. Next week, I will be doing some more casting prep streams. Alan? Yeah, I'm down to raid Alan. How do I do raid Alan ZQ? Is that it? Boom. As follower or subscribe only chat. So does that mean I can still raid him? What am I prepping for? I'm prepping for World. I don't know why I just said that. I meant to do a bit. I'm prepping for, yeah, the World. I'm prepping for you know, life. I didn't leak anything. I didn't leak a thing. I'm prepping for the world at large. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. Go hang out with Alan. Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. See ya.